filming the sun, although it's blocked by the... I wonder why this has picked up on this one right here, you all. Yeah, so let me flip this around. How much longer do we have until we reach the point, the absolute point of no return? Let me turn off my camera. Let me flip this around. I'm trying to turn off this silly camera. I think I turned it off. Maybe I haven't. Yeah. Till we reach the point of no return, the absolute point of no return. Do we have as long as we think we have? Probably can't hear me. I'm gonna fix it, you all. I am. I've been out here zooming up on a few things. It's early. It's real early in the morning, you all. I got up early. I thought I'm gonna get up. But I've just been trying to get some of the sky. I did get a glimpse of the moon over there before it got too low on the point of view. So how much time do absolute point of no return? I think we still have some time left. And what would be the absolute point of no return? I'm sure a lot of people have that figured out in their mind, in their own mind, what that point, absolute point of no return would mean to them. That's what I'm sure of. And it may, some people may feel, you know, it's already been reached. We have already reached that absolute point of no return. I'm not sure of it. I'm not sure of it yet. Will that day come? Good morning. The question is, will that day come? I'm pretty sure it will. It'll come. And throughout history, whenever a certain chain of events start occurring, they have a tendency to snowball, and you can't stop it. You can't, because as that snowball keeps going, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like a great big gigantic avalanche. And can you stand in the way of a big avalanche of snow coming down, or a great big gigantic mudslide? You can't stop it. Once it begins, you can't stop it. You can't stand in front of it and say stop. You can't even put like heavy machinery in front of it and say stop, because the force is too powerful. It's beyond any human capability to stop it, because it's like it's a natural force, and it's a catastrophic force like mudslides and massive avalanches, earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes. Yeah, don't ask me why I'm talking about this. I have no idea. I was just out here filming on my porch, just drinking my tea, and just looking at the sky, since I can't look at the sun because it's blocked. But that thought entered my mind. How much time do we have left till we reach the absolute point of no return on this earth? I think for some it's already been met in some instances of their lives, and it's global. They've already reached that point in time for them personally, on a personal level. But what about on a macro level? See, in micro levels, we can reach that point in our lives. You know, relationships literally end. Jobs are no more. People lose their homes, and it could even be their first homes that they bought, and or they lose their health just like that. and that's kind of like a micro absolute point of no return in someone's life. But when it happens on a global scale, that's going to be a macro point. Um, yeah, South Carolina, everything is set in motion. It is. Everything is set in motion, and we can't stop certain chains of events from happening in our lives. We can't. And in the world, it's way beyond our control. There's some things that we can do to alleviate the effects of it. There really are. But there's not much we can do to stop it. I think even if everybody, they have these things where at certain times they want people to do global meditation and stuff. And even that don't stop it. It doesn't. It doesn't stop the chain of events. It doesn't stop the unseen that you cannot see right now from occurring, that's meant to occur for some reason to bring about the change that's coming. And it's like that saying, order out of chaos or something like that. I don't understand it. I don't really like that terminology, order out of chaos, but we see it. We've seen it throughout history. Chaotic times happen, extreme chaotic times, and devastation and things like that. And that's very chaotic, because who can grip with a reality where there's chaos, total chaos and devastation, and still, maintain a healthy outlook on life, the future, and stuff like that? It's hard. It really is. It would be hard for me to, if the world, like if there was a sudden, I don't know, sudden earthquake right now where I'm at, or like a massive tornado that came through and it like totally destroyed my house, my property, or something like that, it would change my current plans. I would no longer have whatever I might have. I don't know what I have. I would not. I wouldn't be the same after it. It would affect me, and I would hope that I would be stronger. I would hope that I would be strong enough to make it through. I would try my best to be strong enough to make it through and adapt to something like that. I would. I know it probably would change my priorities going forward in life when the absolute point of no return came. It would change me. I'm not, it literally would change me. Someone dropped a link. They didn't drop a link. They dropped something. It was an HR. I'm not going to say the rest of it. You all seen that video about, they say it was a spoof, but was it a spoof? About this senator. They said this senator never existed, but he was reading this thing and it said classified, classified, classified. Otherworldly beings, flesh-eating, things like that. And he was describing, it was something out of a horror movie, it sounded like. But was it really a spoof? Was it really a spoof? I don't think it truly was a spoof. I think, well, I've read, even since I was little, nothing happens by mistake. If it's released into the media, it is not accidental. It is, nothing happens like that unless, if they want something to get out, they're going to let it get out in the whatever form they want to. And they may say, oh, well, that's not, that'll never happen. There's been lots of things that people said that will never happen that have happened in our lives. I haven't got to that point yet, you all. I haven't got to the, I know more is coming out. I haven't got to it. There's been many things in our life that We've been told it'll never happen. You don't have to worry about it. It's not going to happen. And then boom, it happens. It happens, and they told you not to worry about it. And sometimes they tell you not to prepare. Don't even dwell on it. All you're going to do is stress you out, stress yourself out. Don't even give it a second thought, because it had never happened in your lifetime. Everything's going to be great. Um, I'm not going to tell you things aren't going to happen. I'm not. Things are going to happen, and they have happened throughout my life, everybody's life. Um, I will tell you that I hope and pray that you're strong enough, and that you do have all the strength you need inside here. You do, right here. You have the strength to make it, but it's going to call. It's going to have. You're going to have help. You're going to have help, you all. If we reached the point of absolute no return, yeah, and I don't want to think about really, and I don't dwell on any of this, the impossible ever occurring, because it has. All throughout history, you've seen terrible things that have happened to humanity, which should have never happened, and certain areas in which things like that happened, the people were more or less helpless. Helpless. They became victims of a dark force that was given power to do whatever it did. That's what humanity became the victims of, a dark force. And not everybody made it. They didn't. And I'm sure they did their best, but so many were caught off guard. Let's think about this. How can so many people be caught off guard during times like this? How could they not have had any forewarning whatsoever what was about to occur to them? How could they have no warning? How could they think that they would be safe from harm's way and not know? And I don't understand it. I really don't. How would you not know that something terrible was going to happen and that it was happening? And you look around and you see everything being put into place, and yet you ignore the warning signs. You totally ignore it. It's like you don't see it. It's like you're you're going about living your life, and you're not paying any attention to the present situation, your surroundings, or anything that's going on in the world. And maybe you may think, well, that's going on in another part of the country. It will never happen in my part of the country. Or it's going on in another part of the world. It'd never happen where I live. So I'm not going to worry about it. It won't happen. Really? A lot of people have thought the impossible would not happen, and it did happen. And even though they may have had some shred of awareness, they did not take heed. They didn't take heed of it. Um, yeah, I know. And, there are times in your life that's going to come and that have come. It's like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Found myself asking that at times too, because you're so caught off guard. You feel helpless. You feel hopeless. You don't know how to get out of the circumstance that you're in. What do you do? At that point, you don't have very many options, and you know it. You've got to start looking inward in here, and then that causes a person to start reflecting on their life, because at that point your life has hit rock bottom, and you fell as low as you could flow. You fell as low as you could fall. And the only other way at that point is to get up, is to start looking up and starting to rebuild. I guess that would be like you had reached the point, the absolute point of no return in your life, when you think, what am I supposed to do? I have no idea. I've lost everything, everything dear to me. My world has literally been turned upside down. That's when you have to, it's like a rebirth. It really is. It's like the old you. Those birds are kind of distracting. I'm trying to concentrate. Look how they're making noises. They're not very nice to try to interrupt this. I don't know what they're fighting over, but they're fighting. Yeah, it's like you've got to, the old passes away. The old you, the old way of doing things, the old way of living. Um, the and you can no longer do things that way anymore. Now you have to do things different way. You got to think different. At you all, and I don't know where I'm going. I'm just talking right here. Um, yeah. Um, so let me look at this. The dark goddess. There's a lot of people who have been lied to in this lifetime. A lot of them, and a lot of people who may feel that they know the truth, but it is a truth according to them, and or also a truth to those who told them that which is not true, but yet they believe it, um, because they want to believe it. They really do. They want to believe certain things. They do, you all. Yeah. So I think we will reach the point of no return, the absolute point of no return. And it can happen in many different ways to people. It can, many different ways, in many different situations. And that would be on a micro scale. But when it starts happening on a global scale, and it's a, how do I put it, you all? It's it's the same thing. Everybody's faced with it, whether you think you weren't going to be faced with it or not. That's the point of the absolute point of no return, when everybody is now facing the same thing, and they're having to make choices, and they don't got very many choices to make at that point. Because and when you have things happen on a smaller level in your life, well, you got some choices that you can make, because it's not affecting everybody. What's happening to you is not literally the same thing that's affecting everybody right now. But when it gets to that absolute point of no return, and I'm sure it's coming, whatever's happening is going to be happening to everyone at the same time. And then they got to have to make up their mind what they're going to do, how they're going to, go forward, because there'll be no turning back whatsoever. All the doors will be shut, spiritually speaking, to where you can't go back. And like I said, a lot of people have already reached that point in their personal lives. They have. But when it starts happening on a global scale, and all the doors, the exits are all closed, it's like you don't really have many choices. You can't even count the choice. you only need maybe 2 fingers to count how many choices you have at that point of what you're going to do. Yeah, you stay human. Um, this is, I don't even know why I had to speak about this, but I am the absolute point of no return. You, you, you don't have many choices, but I mean, you could give up, but what would that accomplish, really? Because that means you just throw your hands up in the air right then and there. You're giving up. You're not even putting up a fight. You're not even standing up for yourself. You're not even being that role model that others may need to see if you just give up. Okay? You're not. You got to stand up, you all. You do. You got to stand up and be strong and courageous when that point of absolute, the absolute point of no return happens. You got to be strong. You got to be courageous. Um, and it'd be really nice if you had ingrained within you that you're not alone when you do that. You're not. You're not the only one standing. You're not. And there's strength in numbers. There really is. I know that humanity is divided in ways that I never imagined in my life. And you may be looking around and you may see that also. It's divided. It really is in so many segments of society. Um, it's like little splinters of things here and there. And then it's further divided within those little areas. And I don't like it. I don't. I'd love to have a world where people were peaceful, where everyone was united against a common cause. But will I see that on this earth? I don't know. I really don't. There'll always be some people who will stand together, and then there'll be those who will stand all by themselves, say they don't need nobody. It's a lonely world when you feel you don't need nobody, because everybody needs somebody. But there are those who are absolute loners. Yeah. So the absolute point of no return, when we reach that point in time, how are we going to handle it? Because it can happen. It probably will happen. It will happen. It will. But I wouldn't I wouldn't set on and dwell on it. I wouldn't. Don't dwell on it. It's good enough to be aware. It is right now. Be aware, and whatever that point may be, I don't know yet. I really don't. It could come in any type of form. It could, but awareness is the key to start adjusting your mindset within you. We're not infallible, and we're not. Even though we're spiritual beings in this body is only temporary. We're not infallible on this earth. We're not immortals. One day we will be. Well, some people say you really are because your spirit never dies. But that's beside the point, you all. We're on this earth, whatever this earth may be. Some people feel it's a ship. Some people feel it's a matrix. Some people feel it's hell on earth. There's many views out there, not just about the earth, about the stars, the moon, the sun. There's all kinds of views on lots of things in life, but which view is the right view? I guess each person is right in their own eyes. As a person thinks within their heart, so it is, so they are. But does it make that the same across all the spectrums? No, it doesn't. I can't say that I'm one way and everybody else is the exact same way as I am, and everyone else needs to believe the exact same way as me. I can't say that. That's not fair, and it's not true. I can't expect people to have the same beliefs and thoughts on life that I do, and you can't truly expect others to also to bend, to accommodate, and to totally accept everything you say. You can't. And we're individuals. Even though, we have this same body on this earth, we're still individuals. This is a soul-like journey. It's a soul level. It is. I think I'm about done. I am about done, you all. I'm just about done talking. It's about time for me to end this conversation. Susan, honey, we're individuals, and we can't force ourselves on others. We can't force other people to believe the way we want them to believe, to have the same perceptions of certain things happening right now. We can't, because they're going to perceive it differently. There'll be some who act as a collective, like groups of people, which there are. They perceive the world and things happening in a certain way within that sect. And that's, you've always had stuff like that. It's like cliques of people, cliques of certain mindsets that get together. It's like if you have a great big old clique of people, we want to rule the world and make the world bend to our rule. That's only a certain handful of people who feel like that. It's not the whole world, but you have all of these little certain handfuls of people, if they're even human. They want to rule the world. You're going to bow down. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Yeah. And it's like you're going to pay. You all are going to pay. But that's only a handful. That's not the whole world. That's a handful. That's a group of individuals with one mindset. And then you have those who, we just want peace. We want love. That's a group of individuals with one mindset too. It's like you have certain groups of individuals that are not working together. They're working against one another, totally against one another. And you can't heal the world like that when you're in the same boat. We're all on the same boat. And some people are doing their best to sink that boat, making holes all in the boat, bringing down the whole boat, regardless if they go down with it. Some people really want to do that. If you're on this big old ocean of life and we're all in a great big old light boat, we all have different perceptions of what we want this world to be. And some are literally wanting to destroy it at all costs, and they don't care because they think you need to pay for it. And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Or anything like that. Why do we all got to go down with the ship is what I want to know. We don't all got to go down with the ship. We don't. Some people are going to jump overboard. They probably have luck at that point if you're in a big old ship with some people who don't even want you, to survive. They want to sink the whole ship with you and them in it. You're better off jumping off. You really are. Get out of that ship, because you obviously are in the wrong ship with people. You are. Sometimes, yeah, that's where you have your loners or something like that. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. Why do you want to take down all of humanity? Why do you want to make all of humanity pay is what I'd like to know. Yeah. But it's just different mindsets from all different sects of life. Everybody thinks they are the right one. Everybody thinks they're right. Everybody's right in their own eyes is really what it is. All right in our own eyes. Even I think I'm right in my own eyes. I think we all should be loving and kind, but that's me in my own eyes. In my mind's eyes, I think that would be wonderful. We should all be loving and kind toward one another and unite. We should, but that's just me. Somebody else may think, oh no, we're never going to do that. No, we're not doing that. You don't deserve it. See, that's their eyes right there. It's one day, one day, one day it won't be like this, okay? One day it won't. We won't have all this division that's taking place. We won't have all this chaos out of order that's taking place and that has like been kept going over and over and over. We won't have that one day, you all. And that's what I'm looking forward to. And if it's not on this earth, that's fine. That's fine. I'm going to have it one day. I am. And some people must say, no, you ain't never going to have that because you don't deserve it. I'm going to have it. I'm going to have it one day. And so are a lot of other people uh, who are looking forward to that. They're going to have it one day. They're going to have that peace. They're going to have all of it. One day, we ain't going to have the mess that we got here on this earth. It's all going to be taken care of. It is, you all. One day. And I can look forward to that day when the darkness is banished, when evil is no more. I really can. I do. I look forward to that day. And in the meantime, I do my best, like you, to stay afloat on this big ocean of life. I do my best, even though we got people in the boat who want to sink us, who want to sink the boat, you all. We, even though we got people in this boat on this big ocean of life, who want to sink us all. We just gotta keep going. We do, because one day we ain't gonna be in this mess, and it may not be in this lifetime. It may not be while we're in this physical body, but one day it will happen. There'll be no more of this turmoil and division and chaos. There'll be peace. There'll be love. There'll be unity. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you all.